I am the disabled guy with the disabled life. That podcast is going to be about disabled issues and other things that interest me and others from the disabled community. I did this so that people understand what we go through in life and what we do, because a lot of what we do, it is interesting. I'm also going to talk a little bit about ADA and things of that nature. It's something that's very important to me and something that I learned a lot about when I did an episode. I'm going to talk more about it. Okay. This podcast, it's going to come out at 10 p.m. Saturday and Wednesday. So, at so that's when that's when I think most people listen. Most people listen at night or have the episodes there for during for the daytime. So let me stop this. Stop. Something different today. I'm going to talk about finding your voice. What I mean by finding your voice. Let me explain. What finding your voice means that I, as a podcaster, this is going to be amazing to you. I did not like my voice when I first started recording it. But I had to learn to deal with it because I had to listen to it so I could edit my episodes. This wasn't such a big deal when I was doing it on tablet, where it was just not, editing was not a thing. There was no way I could edit. So, now, what inspired this episode to me today is an episode. I was taking part in a Twitter space. For those of you that don't know what a Twitter space is, a Twitter space is somewhere where you actually live talk. There's a group of people in there, or one person, and they live talk, and they talk about different things. Like, for example, I'll talk about disability, or if a topic interests me, I'll get in there and talk about it. So, but your voice is important. But as a podcaster, I started doing this to help people. Even though I did not like my voice, but I went ahead and did it. Thank you for the two encouraging voices that I have here, or three. I'm gonna name a couple people that I appreciate their support. Mama D from Pedals of Support. Maria Humphreys from Podcast Support Community, the admin of the Podcast Support Community, and Rue J. Spence, a moderator from the Podcast Support Community. They'll help me, encourage me to continue. Maria Humphreys had encouraged me and showed me how to work in a space, because I wasn't sure on that. It's a different animal, because we're not. As podcasters, we love the mic control. We don't have that. The host has that. We can get that when we're hosting, but no, the host has control. So let me say this. So finding your voice is important. The reason I started this podcast was because I wanted to give the disabled community a voice. Because I feel and I know that a lot of people in the disabled community don't have voices. What I mean by don't have voices is they don't have a way, they don't have a platform to speak and to talk about topics and issues that interest them. As you hear in my intro, I talk about topics that interest me and other people. I can announce this. I'm going to announce this cast because it's already scheduled. Let me see, on the 4th of next month. This is going to come out on Wednesday. So on the 4th, there's going to be a fellow disabled guest. He is a brain injury survivor. I am going to say that because, I normally don't announce a guest, but due to the fact that guest is already booked, I'm going to announce that. So this, It's not only to talk about me, it's to talk about things that interest others. And yes, finding your voice is important. If you don't want to do a podcast or don't feel comfortable public speaking like this is, I want to encourage you to advocate for yourself in all cases. I've been advocating for myself when it comes to my medical condition. They wanted to do a surgery that was not necessary. I was able to find a alternative treatment, and it helped. And to this day, I'm still under treatment, but it's helping. It's helping. All I'm doing is taking a shot every 3 months, and I am also taking a medicine daily that the doctor didn't want, but I was already on it. So he wanted me to take treatment every month. But then I said, doctor, I'm already taking this. Why can't I go 3 months? He's like, yeah, okay. But advocate, because what I'm saying, if I wouldn't have done that, spoken up, and advocated, I'd be stuck doing a shot every month. It's not necessary. If I'm already taking the medicine, why? That's why I say, speak up, advocate, find a voice. Find your voice in a way that you're comfortable with. I'm comfortable with public speaking. This is public speaking, even though I'm here behind a microphone on my own. But yes, I found a passion for podcasting. I didn't think I would do that, but here I am. I believe I have a valuable message for the disabled community and those of you that are caregivers and things. Voice is important. It's a little more difficult for me to do this podcast because I had to do things that I'm not too familiar with. I had to learn a computer, and I wasn't familiar with it, never using a computer. The closest I got to it is a tablet or a phone. So, you have to sometimes go out of your comfort zone and get out of your comfort zone, and sometimes you need to make what they call purpose purchase. What that means is, for example, with this computer, I bought it specifically to do this podcast. Let me tell you, okay, I bought the computer in order to use a recorder because I wanted to bring guests in, and that was the easiest way of doing it. There are other ways. There are other ways. You can use Zoom and things of that nature, but it's something that I find that why do something in a way that's not practical, where you have to learn 100 things, as opposed to just going in there, setting up a recorder, using your computer as an output source, and getting it done. But make a point. But make sure that you love what you're doing. I've missed a couple episodes because I've been sick. But I still have the passion for this. I found passion, and I know that I'm gonna keep doing this because I love it. It may evolve into better equipment, which I don't know right now. I don't believe I'm going to do it, but it may. But that's what it is. You just find a passion for something, even if it's just a hobby. Find a hobby. Another thing that's difficult for you as a disabled person, I find, is finding hobbies. Because our hobbies are a little bit more expensive because a lot of them are electronic. Because a lot of us have to find indoor hobbies. And it's sit-down hobbies. It's not like going out and playing basketball. Even though some people do. But I don't like basketball. I don't play it. Even though I know there's wheelchair sports, but I'm not into those. And it's interesting how we have to find hobbies that we like. Like amateur radio, I also do exams. there's a lot of things that I do, but most of that stuff is sedentary indoor hobbies. So it's a little more expensive to sit there and going to a hobby and doing those things, because I have to buy electronics, and sometimes you need to buy cables and things of that nature, and that makes it a little more difficult. With that, thank you for listening. Thank you for listening to my episodes. My episodes will come out Monday and Wednesday. You can listen to me on Apple Podcast, Spotify, and many others, including iHeartRadio. The reason I've done this podcast is to give people a voice, because I think that the disabled community is missing a voice, but I am in a unique position of being able to afford minimal equipment to do this. I'm going to give you my email address. If you want to contact me, is ke4key@gmail.com.